fucking boomer energy over here, man. Just making sure all this shit works, man. It's the first time I've been trying to learn all this bullshit for the last week, and I have been getting places with it as far as myself. It's the first time doing it through StreamYard. But anyway, welcome. I don't know what we're calling this thing. I don't know if it's going to have a name or what it is, but Riverman's here and I'm Aaron. And basically, what we're going to do is we're going to start having these regular topic discussions about nostalgia and our upbringings. It could be about whatever, right? It could be about the case of today, which we're going to be talking about high school, or it could be talking about shit we loved when we were a kid that maybe does it hold up or not. It could be first dates. It could be all that embarrassing shit. Whatever. I think going forward, we're going to put out polls for patrons, right? Which that's a good way to bring up that you can support us on Patreon. And we will let you guys vote on what we do, on what we talk about. And you guys can always come prepared and ask any questions you want. We're not too shy. But anyway, that's what we're going to roll into. So we're going to talk about high school. I don't really know how we're going to do it format wise. I plan to have like a whole bunch of notes written down. But to be honest with you, this shit took so long. Just getting set up. I think we're just going to roll with it. But you know what? Todd and I usually have these discussions that are pretty fluid anyway, and we're going to be talking about something especially today that we know, but anyway, so we're going to roll with that. Really quick before we actually talk about the actual main subject, is there any, how you doing? How about, I think we should start it. We should be as casual as possible. How about some how you doings, how you bins, what's new? Doesn't have to be about movies and all this shit. If you guys are used to our normal stuff on Revival House Network, which a lot of the stuff's on YouTube, we're just now starting Twitch. We talk about movies, we talk about entertainment. That doesn't have to be the case here.
Yeah, man, I'm doing good. I'm just getting kind of burnt out. My kids started kindergarten, so now I got to drive like 3 different places. I got to take the kids to school, daycare at different times. It's just then I got to work and come home, and then man, it's busy. Let me just say, it's hard enough to find time to get on here, which I'd love to, man, if I didn't have so much shit going on. But yeah, it's nonstop busy. So I'm looking forward to this weekend. I just found out yesterday that my one of my
You're
sons.
pregnant again?
No. I already took care of that problem. So I can't have any more. But found out my kid was off of their daycare was closed tomorrow, so I got to take a PTO day tomorrow to hang out with him. So I got a nice 4-day weekend coming up, so I am stoked, man. I need this. So,
and I totally forgot about it being a holiday week. I didn't think about me having a 3-day weekend, to be honest. So
yeah,
I'm kind of excited about that. It's been a long week too. How about that daycare though? How's that? How are the prices of that? All I hear about is people complaining about how expensive it is. And I know from my girlfriend, Eva, she tells me about what their schools cost, their Montessori schools, and it's like 3 mortgages a month. It's insane.
Yeah, it's like $2,000 a month. I mean, and for 2 kids, I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, and we're the cheaper one, daycare, which is nuts, dude. I couldn't. Montessori is expensive. I mean,
yeah,
I have some family that go there, which I love it, but it's just, man, it's too expensive. But yeah, I'm glad my other one's in kindergarten, so I cut that in half finally.
I think as a benefit for her job, if kids are down the line for us, she gets, God, it's like a mad discount. Like you can have up to 2 or 3 kids at the same time, and it's nothing, man. So, that's always an option.
You lucked out there, man. That's perfect.
I mean, but kids are only like so old for so long. I mean,
yeah,
it'd be nicer if like I think the big picture game is it was a job that paid more money.
Yeah,
but because they're underpaid, right?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And I don't blame them a lot of the times when they don't want to like come into work and shit. It's like a lot of these people aren't getting paid very much, so it's like, just be nice to my kid. That's all I want.
Thanks for the tip.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so but everything else is good.
Family's
good. Otherwise,
doing good. Family's good. I haven't been watching a whole lot this week, but yeah, I I picked up some things a week ago or so, which I haven't opened, but it's one of those things where you just buy like a stack of movies, like cheap movies, and then you'll get around to watching them at some point. So
yeah, and I've learned that it's probably an unhealthy thing to actually keep track of my backlog, right? And like, oh, I gotta constantly look at your backlog of whether it's movies, whether it's games, whatever it is that you've acquired, and try and like work your way through a backlog. I think if you do that, you would drive yourself crazy because you're never, ever, ever, ever going to catch up on a backlog.
It's all about the mood you're in that evening.
Yeah.
That's the way I buy. And I have a stack, but like I want to watch a comedy or I want to watch a horror flick. It's all about my mood. So
Yeah. And which is weird. It's like, yeah, you might not be in the mood for whatever it is you're buying, but you can't help but buy at that moment because it's on sale or something.
and you will be in the mood eventually. That's the
It's
way I
for
see it.
later.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really weird. And sometimes that stabs you in the back a little bit because by the time you are in the mood to watch it, you could have gotten it cheaper or whatever it is you bought went down in price and you overpaid.
Well, that's why, and that's why we go crazy for like Black Friday and stuff and these Amazon deals, because I think I bought a bunch of stuff like the Godfather box set. When all that stuff was like cheap, dirt cheap for Cyber Monday or whatever the hell it was, and I'll eventually get around to watching it, But a lot of these movies are like 2.5 hours. It's like if I can't dedicate 2.5 hours to a movie right now unless I don't have anything else to worry about for the day. So. That's
and
just the way it
the
is.
worst thing and the worst gamble as far as media is video games, because you never buy a video game right away because it's gonna go down in price. And you know how many times I've been excited about a game and I buy it sort of close to when it came out and I paid a high price for it, and by the time you actually fucking get around to it, man, it's cut in half. Fucking terrible.
Yeah, I think last year I bought around Christmas time. It was on sale, that Resident Evil on PS5. Is that the newest one? It's still in the wrapper. I still haven't popped it in.
Part 8.
But, yeah.
Well, yeah, and that's a good example because I bought it too when it was on dirt cheap sale. And of course, not long after that, they announced that there's a gold edition coming out that's going to have third person, which is the only way I'm
really.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
It's coming out for the holidays, like in November.
Oh.
So, and because I can't, for everybody out there that doesn't listen to us on YouTube or watch us on YouTube, I can't play first person games. They make me sick. I'm one of those poor unfortunate souls, right? It triggers something in me and it makes me really fucking dizzy. I don't know. And I know it's weird because if you just simply put like, it doesn't really change it. That I could do over the shoulder. Like Resident Evil 7, playing it for 30 minutes will make me sick for hours. I'll be sick for the rest of the fucking day. So it's just not worth it. I'll be nauseous. I'll be absolutely disgusted. And I can't, it's not worth it. But I get it. Like if you're playing Resident Evil 4 and it's over the shoulder, it's moving just like first person, except now you just have a little guy in the corner of the screen. But that doesn't bother me. I don't know what it is. I think what I read is something about the first person perspective in a game. And if you have a bigger screen, it makes it worse. But I think it fucks with your peripherals, right? Because your eyes are focused on something, but your eyes are getting distracted by something over here, and it just fucks with your perception. And for some people, it just has a bad reaction. And Mac and Zach from our podcast over there, they like to give me shit all the time that I have beta eyes. But
no, I'm with you. I'm very picky on the first person games that I play too. Resident Evil shouldn't be in first person, in my opinion. But
and I loved. Just me. I was loving what I was playing a 7, but I just couldn't get through it. I picked it up quite a few times, and each time I'd get like a half hour, maybe an hour in, but it was at a cost. I'm telling you, I would be sick. Just 30 minutes, and I'd be sick all fucking night. I would never, and it just wasn't worth it. So when they released 8, I'm like, 8 looks sweet. I always want to conquer it. Like I'm in denial. Like, maybe this game will be different. I can play it. I really want to play it because I feel like the kid on the playground left out when they do that. I think it's alienating, especially when you're taking a franchise that's been well established for decades to be third person. And you have someone like me who's been playing it for fucking 20 years. And all of a sudden you alienate me by, making it in first person.
Well, and I think a lot of these new Resident Evils are a little bit too polished for like, I love the remasters of 2 and 3. I think they are probably one of my favorite games on the console. And I was never a huge fan of 2, but 2 is that game is amazing. The remaster version, I love it.
It's really, really, really good. 3's not as good, but you know what? That's in line with the originals because
Yeah.
3 wasn't as good, but it's still a lot of fun. Cool,
Yeah.
great action game. But anyway, yeah, it was very alienating. Anyway, so 8 came out, and I'm like, I really want to play this. I really want to play this. So I bought it. I wasn't gonna pay full price for it, but I did buy it when it was on sale, like you said, in the holidays. And sure enough, just a few months later, they announced, yeah, it's getting a gold edition, just like 7, and they're implementing a third-person mode. Which begs the question, why can't you do it in part 7 and re-release that? I don't know. And
Well,
they should have had the option from the beginning. Like, I'm not saying don't do the first person, just lots of games you can switch back and forth. Why couldn't you for this?
Well, maybe I'll just dump mine off then and see if because I haven't opened it, and sell it off and then just buy that when it comes out. Because if it's third person, I know I'll play that. I'll be a lot more motivated to play it. So
yeah. Hey, thank you, Plumpke, for making it. What's up, brother? We're just talking about what's new, and we're talking about basically what grinds our fucking gears, man. And right now I'm talking about my beta eyes. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to play Resident Evil 8, but of course I wasted probably $15. And I'm probably gonna have to pay. Hopefully it's not full sticker price, but we'll see. But yeah, I'm excited. Third person. I just don't think, like any business, they're not going to really pay too much mind to a minority. And basically I'm a minority in that sense, because I don't think it's that many people that are affected by the condition, whatever it is. And what's funny is, like, one of the grandfathers of the whole fucking scene, Hideo Kojima, he suffers from it, and he talks about it on Twitter. He's like, man, I really love this game, or I really want to play this game, but I can't. I get the motion sickness, or whatever the term is for it. But anyway,
so are you still picking up physical discs for gaming then, or did you just go to straight digital?
No, I still pick up physical discs, but I like both now. I do. I think there's a place for both.
I do too.
And there's certain examples where I'll probably do both for a single game. So the new TMNT Cowabunga collection just dropped, and I am a trophy whore. I like getting achievements and trophies and stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, and I want to play it right away. I downloaded that. On my PlayStation, and it's also great because it's not too big of storage space or anything. And since I know I want a physical copy of that game too, I'll just get a physical on Switch.
Yeah.
But, so it just depends. I mean, as I get older, I'm getting more and more of a mindset of, hey, I don't want as much shit, but I don't know. I'm not really doing too good at that because I still buy shit. I got toys. I got so many toys. I've talked. Riverman came out here a month or two ago. He saw where I live now for the first time ever. And I was telling him about coming down here for a convention because I want to unload a bunch of shit. I got so many toys and things that none of the stuff that's on display back here, but I got just boxes of shit. It just takes up space, and I gotta get the third degree about it all the time, man. I got too many clothes. I got too many of this, too many of that. When are you gonna get rid of this? When are you gonna get rid of that?
Another record?
Dude, we live in shame.
Yeah.
We have to buy records or whatever it is, and movies too, in hiding.
I was thinking about putting something on my Amazon account where they can, like, maybe hide it in the bushes or something.
Oh yeah, like I've thought about that. Like, hey, could you just put it next to the house?
Yeah.
Could you do it like could you put it under the rain gutter, just like this one kid in school used to do with porno mags for me? That's a middle school story, but dude, I won't say his last name because we can't dox on this show, but our mutual schoolmate Corey, right?
Mm-hmm.
He used to I used to give him weed. I used to steal weed from my dad, and I'd give it to him, and as payment, like, dude, I'm talking like I was 11, dude. I don't know, I was fucking young. And I remember in the dead of winter, he would, on the way home, he would leave like a dirty skin mag. And he would leave it. It was snow everywhere. So he would lift up the rain gutter that, at the point in which it meets the floor. And underneath the rain gutter, it's obviously no snow because it's obviously protected. And he would just leave like a porno mag. And it was the good sleazy stuff, dude. It was like Club.
Oh, yeah. The Hustler.
High Society, dude. Hustler. High Society. And he had gotten those out of his dad's drawer in his bedroom. But his dad wasn't around anymore because his dad went to prison. So now it was just currency for him to get fucking.
Well, that's the only way you can find it back then. I mean, there was no internet or anything. So,
well, Which, by the way, that should be a separate conversation sometime. Like pornography, like old school pornography, like in the woods, dude. Like how basically Gen Wires or Gen Wires, how we used to obtain pornography and that stuff, because it was different. You know, we're right on the cusp where we obviously we're coming up of an age when the internet was becoming a thing. You know, I'd say a lot of the kids in our high school had it, but
High school, yeah,
th-
yeah. Mm-hmm.
but not everybody necessarily, and it was still in its primitive stages.
No
So
smartphones or any of that. Yeah.
no. So, but coming up, especially elementary, middle school, I mean, the only way you caught glimpse of any of that shit, you learn about the birds and the bees, is if you go to a friend's house and they're showing you their dad's fucking skin mags, or like we all did, you find a porno mag in the woods. I don't know what it is about that, but there's some like porno fairy out there, and it's his sole purpose to leave pornography for children.
That's funny you say that, because that my first encounter was I lived with my grandparents for a while, and right next door there was a church, and underneath the welcome mat there was a some pages of porno. So if we wanted to look at that, we'd have to go over to the church or whatever and look under the mat or whatever, and there was some pretty graphic.
And who left that there for the kids?
I
Was it
don't
like
know.
was it the caretaker of the church, like Freddy Krueger, a guy that lived in
Could
a
have
boiler
been.
room outside on the property that was trying to lure you kids?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't want to talk too much more about that, because that honestly is a good topic in its own. Just like those stories growing up.
Yeah.
I could that's a whole 2 hours right there. But kind of a segue. We're talking about our youth. We're talking about school. I think a good episode would be middle school, but we're going to talk about high school. And I don't really know where to start. I think we'll start with just Todd, interview style. What was your first impressions leading up to high school? Like summer, the couple of weeks where you were done with middle school. We were leaving our middle school. We went to Central.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then we were going to go to Millard South. I'm doxing it. I don't care. That's not that big of a deal, right? I could say Millard South. But anyway, what was your impressions as a kid? Like for me, I was just going off of TV and what my parents would say, right? About how their time in high school was. And so that was my only experience. It was vicariously through other shit. And I'm sitting here and I'm watching Saved by the Bell, and I'm hearing Revenge of the Nerds types movies that portrayed high school in the 80s, and this going along with my parents' stories. Like they'd watch stuff like Fast Times at Ridgemont High, or we would watch Dazed and Confused, where they would be giving the kids swirlies and hazing them and shit like that, the freshmen, and they'd be like, it was just like that. I'm like, what? and of course we get to high school. No, it's not like that at all. It's tame. And I don't, and that's a good thing. But I guess there's a little bit of a romanticizing for those movies, those 80s sex comedies and shit.
Well, I mean, it was tame for compared to that, but I mean, there was a lot of clicks back in high school too. So I mean, it was kind of
yeah, but there's
accurate
not
when it comes to that.
The seniors weren't given the freshmen swirlies. The seniors were book checking you.
Oh yeah, they would always fuck with you, but yeah, they wouldn't give you swirlies.
Whoever got book check, was that a thing in every generation? Because whenever it's passing between periods and the main traffic, because we had a pretty big high school, we had a lot of people at Millard South. Mm-hmm. And you know, when we're going through like one of the main stairwells or whatever, it's just a flood of people. So it's so easy to get an innocent bystander, just like a drive-by shooting. You really don't even have to plan it out. It's just a flood of people. You're walking down, or you're walking up, a senior is coming down, and he just sees you and just swats your books and shit, and then they spill all down the fucking walkway and the stairs, and it's so humiliating. And honestly, none of it was calculated. Like it could have been any freshman. It's just here, you know.
Well, it was between that and then, like, I don't know what you call it, like a backpack check, where they like lift your backpack up while you're walking down the stairs and they throw it down and you fall down the stairs. I don't know if that ever happened to you, dude.
No,
yeah,
that happened to you.
Oh yeah, that happened to everybody, where they just like lift the back of your backpack and throw it down,
and you're like attached to it.
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
and you fall down the stairs.
Yeah. They used to do shit like that all the time,
dude. Yeah. That's different than book checking because no one's getting hurt with book checking.
Well, they
Dude.
did that. Then they did nut taps all the time. Like they just
Oh,
smack you right in the nuts. Oh,
oh,
all the
dude,
time, dude.
one time, and actually, I think this was somebody in our fucking grade.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say the initials are T and H.
Okay.
Let's just say his first name sounds like Jabroni.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
You know what I'm talking about? Tony Danza. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
dude, we're walking through the main traffic area, the hallway, in between periods, and there's a rush of kids going one way, rush of kids going the other way, and I was walking, and this fucking guy, he not just grabs my ass, he smacks my ass and takes two of his fingers and puts them up my chute. And it's one of those things where by the time you fucking realize what happened, you've been violated, you look back and they're already leaving. And I saw him looking back, like smiling, like, what the fuck was that? And it's so weird because as a kid, it's different. Like as an adult, obviously that doesn't happen in the adult world. You'd be like, I'm going to report this. This is sexual harassment. This is assault, but like as a kid, you're just like, get me out of here. Yeah. Plemke, why do gay dudes love me so much? I have that like a broad appeal, I guess. I don't know what I'm saying. And that's so funny that you're just assuming he was, but yeah, that was pretty not heterosexual.
There was definitely a lot of funny stuff in high school. I remember we used to hang out with some people on the football team. I didn't play sports or anything, but they were telling me how they always tell you crazy stories about how they like took a dump in somebody's football helmet that they hated or whatever. Like some of the other people on the other team and stuff, like just hazing shit. It's hysterical, dude.
Yeah, I don't. Who were they like? Was this like later on? Like our classmates were junior varsity or varsity, and they're like hazing the freshmen that are joining the team.
They're hazing people on the team that they don't like. So
the people they don't like, because there was always that.
You know who it is who did it. So yeah.
Oh yeah, rhymes with Blackson.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Rhymes with Blackson foreskin.
Yeah.
Dude. So people, that's a good segue too, man. Let's talk about assholes. And the thing is, we knew a lot of people, and I think everybody knew a lot of people that were just assholes to a lot of different kinds of kids. And maybe you didn't partake in it, but sometimes you didn't necessarily like say, hey, you're a fucking dick, and stand up, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think in high school, in hindsight, you were just trying to remain as neutral as possible because you just want to get through it and be kind of cool with everybody, Like I would never do that. Fucking kid that we're talking about, he was ruthless to some people.
Oh,
this poor girl, man. This poor girl. Obviously, not going to dox anybody. He would just. I remember after school on the way out, like when people were going to go take the bus or pick up their rides, he would just taunt her in the hallway, and he would say, by name, he would yell it. You are the ugliest girl I've ever seen. He would just yell it. He would yell it, and then this girl would be just in tears, yelling back, like, "I fucking hate you." I'm like, dude, you are fucking brutal, man. What is like? Who hurt you, man?
Yeah, he was the type of guy that makes fun of the mentally challenged too. We had a bunch of people that used to do that, which is messed up, dude.
It's ridiculous. Anyway, so that's a good example of me not necessarily saying, "Hey, dude, you fucking bird beak motherfucker, why don't you take a look in the mirror?" You don't partake, you feel bad, but you don't say anything about it. So I don't know.
Yeah. No, there's quite a few of those people.
Todd's story there. We knew this other kid. He was terrible. He ended up, disclosure, going to prison right after high school, but we should have saw the signs, right? He ended up going to prison because I guess he beat up some old man in an ATM for probably $20 and killed him. Yeah. I don't know if he meant to kill him, but he killed him nonetheless. And anyway, this kid, another good example. I was totally cool with him. All the class I had with him, really civil, really nice.
I didn't have a problem with him either. Yeah.
Totally fine. But to certain kids, man, he was just a junkyard dog. And we had this poor kid, man, who was in a wheelchair. He was mentally handicapped, physically and mentally handicapped. And I don't remember what he claims this kid did, like he meant it. But let's just say he ran over his lugs.
Yeah.
I always think about this kid, somebody accidentally kicked the back of his shoes in the hallway. He's like, man, these are lugs, punk. And
Scuffed his Jordans,
yeah, you scuffed my Jordan. I always quote that. So let's just say hypothetically it was something like that, where he accidentally backed his wheelchair on his shoe. Let's just say it was that trivial, whatever it was. He fucking decks him. He punches a mentally handicapped kid who's like 80 pounds wet.
in a wheelchair, yeah.
Yeah, he's like a tiny kid. He punches him. And I didn't see that happen. I just remember he got like suspended, and that's what happens. And I'm like, well, that's par for the course for this type of guy.
But a lot of these people just got suspended for a couple of days and they'd be back. It's like, it's crazy, man.
Did he look like talking about the first guy, Plemke in our chat, one of our patrons, is like Roger Klotz? Was that what he looked like?
No.
Blackson? Yeah, he kind of looked like Roger Klotz.
Yeah.
But unlike Roger Klotz, he had friends. It's like nobody liked Roger Klotz, but I don't understand it. It's just one of these things where you look back as an adult, especially maybe if you have kids now. It's like, why did I hang around this guy? Why was I tolerating this guy? But like I said, it's you have this survival mentality in high school.
Yeah.
Even if you're the most popular cliquey cheerleader that goes to a high school, you still have that survival mindset. You would it's like Mean Girls. You would never go up against your tribe because they'll fucking turn your back on you, right?
Yeah, it's weird because I kind of went into high school and I was a little freaked out, but I got a job that summer, so I worked in a grocery store, and I got to know a lot of people that were going to high school, and that's where I met our friend Travis. So I kind of knew a couple people and kind of got the feel of what it was going to be like going into high school. And then I was like, I don't know. I was a preppy kid in freshman year and, girlfriends and stuff like that. But I never really got in any cliques. And then I kind of jumped my sophomore year, like sophomore through senior year. And I just let my horde junkiness come out and just wear horde t-shirts and the same Pantera shirt as Aaron, which we've talked about many times. And
yeah, that's funny because that's not even a clique, Todd. It's like horror guy. That's not like its own clique, horror kid. But I guess you would throw it in with, I don't know.
Because I was pretty much one of the only people to be wearing like a Nightmare on Elm Street shirt or a Henry shirt or a zombie shirt or something like that. And people thought I was weird. I mean, Travis wore Evil Dead shirts, but yeah, I mean, there was definitely. But we pretty much got along with everybody just because we had things in common with everybody. So whether it was music or movies or
that's
something like that.
That's the way I feel like I was too. And I don't know. Yeah, but I wasn't wearing puka shell necklaces. I just kind of I didn't dress too different than I do now. I wear less band shirts these days, but essentially I was a jeans and t-shirt kid. But you had the preppy crowd, the jock crowd, and there was a uniform.
Mm-hmm.
You had to wear some kind of like shell puka necklace, something like that. You had to wear a collar, like Abercrombie shirt or something.
Yeah.
And you had to wear Abercrombie jeans and stuff like that. And I swear they all wore the same fucking shoes.
You had to wear the white Adidas with
the white Adidas with the shell at the end. The shell.
Yeah.
It's just the basketball ones. And it was weird. It was just weird, man, because it's like it's so homogenized now that I think about it. But then you had the goth cliques. That they were funny, man, because they went all out, dude. They would just the biggest fucking jinkos you'd ever see. They'd have like the makeup. They'd wear
biggest
the collars,
cages in their ears and in their face. They shit in their faces and all that stuff. Yeah, there were some hardcore goths back then. I don't really see that anymore. Do you?
Well, would we see it anymore? We don't go to school. I mean,
I don't just out and about. I mean, you really don't see like.
I guess not.
Goths all the time.
I guess so. I guess hypothetically we'd see them out grocery shopping with their parents even, but I don't know. As far as outdoors, I don't see kids out and about very much anymore. Like they just don't. We now live in the era of doing this shit. Nobody's
Yeah.
outside playing and riding bikes anymore. So I don't know. And I certainly am not hanging around middle schools and high schools to just see what's up. That's very odd. But you know what though? Go ahead.
We had the goths, we had the skaters, we had every different type of clique, which was kind of cool too. Because I mean, if you weren't in one of those cliques, you can be friends with pretty much any of the cliques. Well, not like good friends with them, but just like civil.
Yeah.
If you have something in common with them.
No, yeah, no, for sure. Plumke in the chat, he's saying there's a lot of goths at his high school, and one of them was a full-blown Wiccan. I wonder if you would ask them today if they were still a Wiccan, because that's the thing about high school is a lot of those people were just kind of finding themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I wish we could go back and go through and just find all the people that were part of some goth clique or whatever clique and see what they're doing now and how they dress now.
Yeah.
The majority of all the goth kids in high school, they're not goth anymore.
Yeah.
You know, you hear these people that are our age talking about their goth phase, or in the case of somebody maybe 10 years younger, the scene kid phase, right? When the emo shit was real popular. I mean, we were adults then, but I see it all the time online. Like, oh, those are like the throwback photos. God, this is my scene years. And they're like fucking crabcore shit like that. And they've all outgrown it. It's just one of those things. I just don't think.
I just think of the Harold and Kumar where Harold has like the hair or whatever covering his eye.
Oh, the Y2K.
Yeah, the Y2K.
Yeah. And you know what? Todd had a great idea he had some photos from our high school years. And it's funny when you go back and you look at photos because you don't remember everybody looking like a baby because, you're just growing with everybody and you're seeing everybody gradually. And I was going to say, you should upload them in here so you could like show them on the stream. Did you already do that?
I can. Do you want me to share my screen? I can show them.
No, you want to share it? Okay, so he's going to share a screen real quick, and we're going to look at some of this cringe.
Okay,
but it's funny. Like you look at this stuff, and you're like, man, I don't remember being this young. And go ahead, we can talk over the photos.
Okay, let me share my screen real quick.
All right. Do you have the one where I'm getting run over by the car?
I don't. I just have those two as of now. I'll
okay.
The other ones. But
so Todd's in both of these, and I'm only in one of these.
Yeah. So this is. Let me share my screen. Share. Okay. So this is the first one. Okay. This is me. This is me. All 150 pounds of me.
Jeez.
And this is our good friend Travis.
Let's take a moment to just appreciate how low Todd's pants are sagging. Todd, why don't you outline where your crotch would be? Where would your penis be in this photo?
Probably right here. The thing is, I always wore khakis.
Yeah.
I was a huge cat. This is probably 19. This is 2000, year 2000.
Yeah.
I always wore my silver watch. Looks like this is my kind of preppy phase. I had my Abercrombie shirt, and I was hanging out with good friend Travis here. I want to talk about these guys. They're nice kids, but well, one of them is. But Travis.
One of them is fucking dumb as an ox. Go ahead.
Travis always wore like these. Look at this. Look at this collared shirt with this undershirt. He always wore these long undershirts underneath everything, whether it was a t-shirt or a short sleeve button down shirt, which was his style back then. But yeah, I had the weird looking haircut right here. This is I don't know what you call it, a bowl cut or what, but
no, it's not really a bowl cut, because yeah, it goes up too high on the sides, but yeah, you have bangs though.
But the funny thing is, like back in 2000, Travis and I used to like act like we were like into each other, and it would attract women. So this is how we got girls. We were very touchy feely with each other, and we actually both got like some pretty good looking women back then. So what does that tell you? Who knows? Different day and time, but
I don't know. You would think that would do better these days.
Yeah, I know, right?
You'd think you'd be like, hey, we're trans. We're non-binary, so give us all the pussy, please.
Yeah.
That'll be one pussy, please. Thank you.
Let me go to the other one real quick. Okay. So I just found these photos because I was on Facebook and there was a reunion or whatever.
A group page started by somebody that went to our high school. Yeah, and they I think they're just yearbook. I don't even have my yearbooks anymore, so but I think they probably just came out of the yearbook. No, some of those were not yearbook photos.
No,
but I don't know if they might not have made the yearbook, but they had to have come from whoever was taking pictures for the yearbook, probably going around the school.
So here is the one with Aaron. Okay, so this is Aaron here.
There's Todd creeping out. He's like poking through. God, what a baby face. Yeah, there's me. I had never gotten haircuts, basically.
No, you didn't.
And I was kind of like Travis, wearing oversized shirts.
Yeah, basketball shorts, it looks like. Is that what you're wearing?
Yeah, something like that.
What shirt was this? I was trying to figure out this the other day. What is that, a Pearl Jam shirt, or what is that?
PJ? I don't think. Oh, I don't know. I was trying to figure it out too. I wish it was a shirt that I wore all the time that I could instantly just reminisce. Like, oh, there's the Pantera shirt, or oh, there's my, Metallica Fixer shirt, or my Rebel shirt. No, I don't know. But yeah, the thing that I noticed when I look at this photo is, God, the shirt was huge. Why did I wear these big shirts?
We all did, and then we had the white undershirt underneath, and look at the neck hole. Looks pretty good. Because Aaron and I were huge neck hole junkies, where it had to be a tight neck hole.
Yeah.
And the big thing was having the undershirt with the white coming out. So you wouldn't pit out.
We're still very, very much essential and serious about our holes being tight.
Well, yeah, you don't want to pit out, dude. You don't want to you sweat it out. So yeah, we all wore undershirts like that. But
you look like you're 5 years old, dude. It's so funny.
I look exactly like my my half brother. I look exactly like him
right there. Face. And I really am not a fan of that candid shot they got me in, where I'm just like, what the fuck am I doing? Do they catch me moving my head? That can't be a pose. Because look at the guy in the middle there. He was a mutual friend. He just kind of
he was the quarterback. Remember on the football team? I got my quarterback, but yeah, he was the quarterback of the football team.
Next to him, David, really cool guy. I think David right there, pound for pound, was one of the nicest guys of the high school.
Yeah.
Super nice guy. And he's a great example of someone that was super nice. And yet everybody loved him. I don't know. He tolerated bullshit, right? Because even the guy in the middle there and people like that first guy we were talking about, they were assholes to some people sometimes. And I don't really necessarily think someone like Dave there went to bat and beat the shit out of his friend. But you're put in a situation, right? Like, these are my friends. I can't like, but when you grow up, you're like, why the fuck were I friends with these people?
Yeah.
I
will pull out some other photos once I get them, but I don't have them right now. I do have them somewhere, but
did we? And that's weird seeing photos too, like who was taking that photo, because this is not when people had camera phones. We didn't have smartphones.
These were disposable picture cameras.
Yeah, so it wasn't very often you were getting your picture taken. So that's why I don't know where that picture came from. It doesn't really quite look like a yearbook photo, does it?
No, it's not a yearbook photo. I think they just walked around snapping photos.
I wish I knew who took that photo.
Yeah, I have no clue.
Anyway, is there anything about? So we haven't really moved too far beyond freshman year. So freshman year was really cool because that's when you and I really became friends, and you met Travis through work, as you said. And I remember we had the most referenced class of our life, Miss McCain's art class.
Oh yeah.
Miss McCain's art class. And I remember, did I show up late on the first day of this class? It was first period.
Yeah.
You didn't show up. I showed up late.
Yeah.
And literally there was nowhere else to sit. And it was just like a table with you and this Rocky kid.
Right.
I was like, okay. And I sat there, and I don't remember if you were wearing like a Day of the Dead shirt or you had something like that. I don't remember. But
probably
we started talking about, it might have been Quantum Leap was the first thing. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
Which is really bizarre for someone our age to just talk about Quantum Leap. I mean, that show had been off the air for years at that point.
Yeah, probably 10 years.
10 years.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, that's where it started. And Todd was really into that stuff. Then we started talking about movies, and you were, I remember you invited me over to your house. I don't know if it was like that day or if it was a couple days later. It was probably a little bit of a build up. And yeah, I saw your house for the first time, and you were the only kid I knew that had a DVD player. You were showing me your DVD player, and you had Dawn of the Dead, and I saw the menu, and I remember your bedroom in your mom's basement. You had the Joe Montana cutout.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
got all my stuff from work. I saved up all my paper route money and bought a DVD player for like $350. Like I think I saved for like 2 years to buy that thing. But
Yeah.
yeah.
So Todd was just a little bit older than most people in our grade. So when I started, correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. But like when I entered freshman year, I was 13 and I ended up turning 14.
Yeah.
Todd, I believe you entered at 15 and you
15.
turned 16.
Yeah, that's correct.
So there's a gap there. So technically Todd was the only freshman that had a driver's license too. Now he was probably the first person working, it felt like.
I didn't have a car. Travis was working too, but I didn't have a car. I just had a license.
But when did you get the Corsica?
Sophomore year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know why I remember it differently, but
yeah, because we were walking everywhere freshman year, and we had to get Travis's dad to drive us home all the time and shit.
How did I get to your house that first time in freshman year?
Probably walked. It was like 5 miles home. I mean, it's a long way, you know.
I don't even remember though. I blacked out.
Yeah, we used to walk everywhere, man.
Yeah,
everywhere.
No, for sure. And that's right. Of course, you didn't always have a car because we used to walk to fucking Super Saver. We used to walk to Arby's where Travis
walk to the mall, dude. The mall's like
mall.
2 hours away.
I don't know why I'm blanking all this out, but yeah, that was actually some fond memories, dude. We'd walk everywhere. And it was a great time, man. And another crucial part to the walking was the Walkman. Kids don't appreciate the Walkman today. I mean, now you have Spotify and streaming and on demand on your phone. No, before you left the house, you picked one CD and you picked one CD carefully because that's what you were going to fucking listen to all day long. And
I remember one specific time we were all walking home, and this is probably freshman year, or we were walking to somebody's house. It was me, you, and Travis, and then James. Remember James, of course.
Redhead.
Yeah, James. Okay. And you were telling us the whole way to his house. This was like probably like 10 o'clock at night. We were walking. We're all walking. We're all walking to somebody's house to spend the night. You were telling us your ghost stories for like 2 hours while we were walking, and we were all getting freaked out, dude. You're just telling your ghost stories about how your mom in the book Amityville Horror and all that
Amityville
stuff.
book,
yeah, and just all that shit, and it was like freaking us out, dude. It was awesome.
I really think I have early onset dementia because there's just like all these things he's talking about I don't remember.
I'm the same way with stuff you tell me, but
like that's just a whole block. So you're saying it was me, you, and Travis, and this mutual friend James. We were walking.
Yep.
To whose house?
I think we were walking to James's house.
I don't remember ever being to James's house. Was this after a football game or something, or some kind of?
It could have been. Yeah, it could have been after a football game or something.
So I think, yeah, it's very foggy, but I only remember one time walking around at night in this type of setting with James there, and I want to say it was after some sort of function like that, like a ball game or something. And I don't remember where we went. I remember Seth. Oh, no last names. This kid Seth. I remember he had a big group sleepover with a bunch of people from school. And that's the only one I remember where it was like a big one. So I don't know if it had something to do with that. I don't remember. I have no freaking clue. What was the which sleepover was it where a mutual friend, we're not going to say his name, was sleeping and his dick was hanging out of his shorts and it was the size of a thimble, and you were like, oh, you called it his little smoky, I guess Vienna sausage.
Yeah, that was you weren't there at that time, but
I wasn't there.
I told you the story afterwards.
I love it.
Ever since then, you started calling him Little Smokey or whatever, and he gets so mad.
Little Smokey, that's his rap name.
But yeah, I was sleeping. We all slept on the couches or whatever.
I think flicked it, dude.
They have pull-out beds, and so we were sleeping down in the basement, and we always watched before we went to bed. We watched the Nick Arcade. What's that Nickelodeon channel? No, it was like
Nick Gas. Nick Gas.
Yeah, Nick Gas. He had like the nice cable where you had all those weird channels. We watched Nick Gas till like 4 a.m. We watch all that shit, and then he's sleeping right next to me, and I have another guy sleeping on the other side of me. It sounds weird, but I look over, and
Well,
then
guy mounted behind me, no big deal.
I look over, and then no sheets on anybody. My buddy next to me, he has boxer shorts. You know how they have that little slit that just like flops open or whatever? Like,
Yeah.
and the little, you can see the little head of the smoky or whatever. And I was just like, oh my God. So I think I like nudged him or whatever, and he turned over. But ever since then,
maybe it was very cold down there.
yeah, it could have been, but it was pretty embarrassing for him on the next day. But
why did you tell him? It didn't have to be embarrassing unless you told him, because it sounds like he was kind of asleep.
God, of course I told him. Yeah, I
so
told him.
Why.
And then I remember.
What did you say? How did that conversation happen? Like, hey, Adam, you were revealing yourself last night in your sleep. Let me tell you, I know I'm also very young and a prepubescent boy here, but that was fucking tiny, even for my standards.
No, I was talking to Travis, and I was making fun of him to Travis, and of course, he probably overheard us. So yeah,
crying dude behind the corner.
Yeah, but no, we always spent the night at his house because he had the cable, and he had like a Skittle machine that we used to get like free Skittles, and yeah, it was. And then he had 3 computers downstairs, so his dad worked for like a computer company, and we would go down there and just look up porn all night. On the computers, and we never deleted the history or anything. So his dad's probably like looking through all this stuff. What the hell are you doing down here? And then I got kicked out of the house because I brought alcohol over to the house because I wanted to drink. And then
really?
Yeah. I think I brought, I don't know, some beers and some vodka. I put it in my book bag, and then we were drinking downstairs, and then his mom was the type who would stand at the top of the stairs and sit at the top of the stairs where you couldn't see her, but there was somebody up there. It was kind of like a split entry, so you can hear the person upstairs, or they can hear us downstairs. And she was like, next day, like they kicked me out of the house. I can never come back. She was like, I heard a tss, like I was opening a bottle of like alcohol or something like that. And I got. Yeah, and they knew we were drunk downstairs, so they were pretty pissed off at me. But whatever. I mean, I was kind of,
Were you banned?
I was banned for a month.
They were like, listen, Todd. Normally, we would ban you forever, but since our little man has no friends, we can't do that to him. 1 month.
Well, banning your friends. I mean, we also got, oh God, we got banned from Travis's house.
Oh, well, hey, before I definitely want to talk about that, I don't want to move on from this other kids before I tell my stories real quick, because I don't want to jump around too much.
Well,
we got to talk about that.
Yeah,
we all have. Hold on, we got a few different banning stories. We each have our banning story. So let me. The first kid, we're gonna call him Little Smokey for the sake of privacy. Little Smokey. So yes, he was what I would consider back then a rich kid. Now, in hindsight, how rich were these people? I don't know, but just, when you're a kid, anybody that has more than you, they're a rich kid. Anyway, yeah, he had a Skittle machine, man. And in hindsight, I didn't like him. I didn't get along with him. And it wasn't because I didn't try. It's just from the very beginning, my relationship with this particular person was not good. And it started with him. Like, for our very first interaction, it started with him. Anyway, and here it comes that I'm now hanging out in the same group he is. And normally, did I want to go to his house? No, I never liked going to his house. But that's where my clique was going. That's where Travis was and Todd was. So, I kind of felt like an intruder, because it's like we didn't really have a real liking for each other. And he's probably thinking, why is this asshole coming to my house? And I'm thinking, why am I at this asshole's house? So it's like, it was mutual, but I didn't know what else to do. And there was even a few instances where I slept over too. Yeah. I remember I slept over with Travis and you. I think there was a trifecta. I think I slept over at one point with you and Travis.
Yeah.
I know I slept over with just Travis one time and him. And then there was one time where it was just me and Adam. Let's say his name kind of sounds like Cleavage at the end.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And then I slept over there with him. And I'm like, it was, I don't know what Adam must. Oh. What Little Smoke? I'm fucking terrible at that, dude. Anyway, as a grown up now, I'm like, man, how weird. But anyway, I remember I used to eat them Skittles, man. I used to fucking eat them Skittles like that's all there was on the planet Earth to eat.
And their jerky, their fresh made beef jerky that his dad used to make.
I was kind of being an asshole too at a point, but it was like a Seinfeld Newman relationship where it just the fire kept getting fueled, and I would have never been like this to anybody else on the planet. But there was something antagonistic about this relationship. So I would go in there. Not only would I take a fistful of Skittles, I'd fill my pockets, dude.
Yeah, you had cargo. Yeah, cargo shorts.
Yeah, we all wore cargo shorts back then, especially the ones that like zipped off into pants. Remember those?
Yeah.
Anyway,
hideous.
Yeah, hideous. And it's like, I'd load up my pockets, and that was a dick move. That was a dick move. I'd eat their homemade jerky.
Yep.
Dick move. Dick move. But anyway,
we used to take handfuls of the jerky and stuff, just put it in our pockets and leave. Oh, we're gonna take off and go out and walk around for a few hours, maybe come back, maybe not. That sort of thing. But
Plemke's saying in high school there was a kid that was sneaking high school or vodka into the teacher's lounge water tank.
Oh, that's awesome.
They almost got away with it, but got caught. So I wonder if it's like one of those traditional office water tanks, water coolers.
Probably.
How much vodka would it have done? A lot of damage, like a typical bottle of vodka in one of those giant what are those 10-gallon, 5-gallon? How big are those?
Those are I don't think it'd be that unless it was pure vodka. I don't think it'd be that bad. But
even then, it would be pretty diluted.
I mean, you might have some recovering alcoholics that are teachers drinking that who probably fell off the wagon because of it. So it's probably not the best idea.
Dude, that is not a good idea. Yeah, and that's the thing is people don't fucking think about that shit, dude. Really quick side story, just on that note. I remember my dad used to drink on the job. Dude, he drank everywhere, on driving, on the work. It didn't matter. And I remember I used to work with him for a time, and he used to like put just fucking hard liquor vodka in his like work cup because he was a chef. And to somebody that's not any of the wiser, they just think it's a soda or something. But to him, it's like loaded. Anyway, everybody in the kitchen staff and all that, everybody kind of had their own drink, and usually you wrote your names on it or whatever, so you didn't get confused. Anyway, him and the general manager, he was the chef and the kitchen manager, and there's a general manager. They're both working behind the line for some reason this day. And the general manager, he accidentally grabs my dad's cup thinking it's his, and he takes a drink, and he just has this look on his face like, and my dad's just like, oh shit. And he goes, I haven't had a drink in 10 years.
Oh jeez.
He's a bad recovering alcoholic, dude.
Oh yeah.
And he's a bad recovering alcoholic, and he went through the steps, and he has, he had the
coin.
He had support network and people to call. And my dad said I felt fucking terrible about it. Like, because who knows what kind of night he had. Calling up all his support buddies, like, you gotta help me.
He probably went straight to the bar after school or after work.
But anyway, so you were going to talk about our buddy Travis and how, I'm assuming, I don't think we both got banned. I know what you're talking about. You're talking about his sister, right? That situation?
Yeah. So
go ahead.
Basically, we would go over to Travis's house.
Every day.
Every day. He lived close to the school. And we were all friends with their family. Well, became friends with their family. He had 2 sisters and a stepbrother, which, Pat's been on here before. But we go over there and we drink all of their dad's orange juice and eat all of his cookies.
Dude, we every day, another asshole move. And it's not like we were trying to be assholes. It's just,
you don't think about it
when you're a kid. You just don't think about it, and you're so consumed with yourself, and just, I don't know, you're just not thinking about that stuff. And we'd go to his house. Mind you, a lot of times Travis wouldn't even be there yet.
Yeah.
We would go to his house, dude, and nobody would be home. His parents didn't come home till like 5 or 6. And so the house would be empty.
We know the garage code.
We know the garage code. We go in without Travis, we'd chill out his basement, and we'd go through the kitchen, drink. Like, we were using sitcom mentality.
That's terrible, dude.
This is what they do in sitcoms. Urkel just comes in, starts eating the food, and we would drink his orange juice and we'd eat his Ritz crackers. Ritz crackers, dude. And we never thought about it. Anyway, at what point did Travis tell us one time that it was an issue? Somebody had to have said something. Then we felt bad, like, oh shit.
It was probably maybe when I got banned so basically I think I came over there. Travis wasn't even home and his sister was there, so I came over, went to the garage and started getting some food, and then his sister comes out and just starts bitching at me, yelling
college
at me
aged.
Yeah, she's in college, like maybe a freshman in college, and then like starts yelling at me and stuff because I'm just coming in eating all their stuff and just being an asshole because I'm in their house and I shouldn't be in their house.
It's totally reasonable, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's
I feel so terrible.
You're in your home. It's your safe haven, and you have these fucking Urkels coming in whenever they want, when no one else is home. Maybe to her, she thought she had the house to herself.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, mom and dad don't come home till 6. Trav, I'm gonna have some me time. I'm gonna do whatever. And then all of a sudden, fucking Tweedledee and Tweedledum come through, and just, did I do that? Basically, we're Kramer. We walk in and go to the fridge and start fucking eating the food. Go ahead.
Yeah. So she's yelling at me, and then I made some snide comment. I'm like, take the tampon out of your ass. And then she went off. She just went off.
I remember that. I got kicked out with you.
Yeah, and she like freaked out on me and told me get the F out of the house and all this stuff. And yeah, we got banned for like a month or two. We had to buy John more orange juice and cookies and stuff like that, and just put him in there, or give him to Travis and put him in there just to butter him up.
So this is where it gets foggy for me, because from me and from my perspective, granted, I was there too, so I'm like, yeah, I shouldn't be doing this either. But you were the one that said the tampon remark, and she wasn't yelling at me. It was pretty much at you, and I just kind of went with you. But did we actually get quote unquote banned?
Yes, we got banned.
Who'd that come down from?
From John and Hunty, yeah.
And they said you were banned or we were banned?
We were banned.
But you know what though? I get it.
Yeah, I do too. That was stupid. I mean,
how would you feel? How would you feel if you did your grocery shopping for the family and you're budgeting out, you're buying food, and then like, it's one thing to keep track of your growing teenagers eating all the food. You have to account for people coming in, breaking into your house essentially, and then eating whatever they want. Like
my son's friend came over and we're eating all my stuff, dude, and hanging out in my house. I would lose my shit, dude. I totally understand where they're coming from. I was a complete idiot.
And I don't recall us wanting. I don't know at what point it had to have come up. Maybe it was a result to that, but it had to have been Travis or somebody saying, and the orange juice thing, you guys are eating the food.
Yeah.
And
that's exactly.
And I don't remember it having to do with anything with being banned and try to butter him up. I just remember him telling us that and really putting it in front of our face and feeling horrible.
I think.
I just generally felt bad, like, he's right. And it's just,
maybe I'm thinking about the band, how you got banned from my ex.
That's my next story. I'll tell it. Well, I don't recall getting banned. I just don't recall that. But anyway, when Travis addressed it all in the same situation, because I don't remember John talking to us. I don't remember Hunty talking.
No,
Travis
they went
was
through
the
Travis.
ambassador.
Yeah.
And I just remember when he said that, dude. I felt like my heart fell into my stomach, because
you realize what you've done,
and you realize you feel bad. It's not like if the first kid we were just talking about, the Skittle kid, Lil Smokey, had that conversation with me, it wouldn't resonate because I wasn't on great terms with them. But Travis's parents were awesome to us.
Oh yeah. So
talking about offering a pinky and us taking the whole fucking elbow.
Well, we wanted to live at his house. That's the whole thing,
Yeah, and I know it sounds kind of fucked up and kind of like an excuse, but I really think Todd and I, we lived in this fantasy world where we just romanticize sitcoms.
Oh yeah.
and Travis, to us, we were trying to like build the sitcom life because we bonded on shit like TGIF, right? Family Matters,
Yeah.
Full House, shows
Step
like
by
that,
step,
especially
yeah.
Family Matters, dude. And there's something about that. I mean, especially me, I grew up in a hella broken home. And so when I used to watch Family Matters, like, hey man, this is a great family. Yeah, so what? They have an Urkel that comes in. At the end of the day, still love him, even when they tell him to go home, go home, go home. He
Yeah.
always comes back, and they always love him. And you know, you got Carl Winslow giving the great advice that was like John to me, you know. And then I guess Harriet was Hunty. I don't know, but
yeah, I can see that.
but that's the way sitcoms always were.
Yeah.
And I guess we just couldn't separate fiction from reality in that moment, and we felt like assholes. And I remember nobody told us to go buy more, but we felt bad and we went to Super Saver. And when I say we bought more, I didn't have any money. Todd bought it, but I think it was one of those things where both of our names were on it. I didn't have a job, dude.
Yeah.
And it wasn't. I don't remember if we gave a card, but I think we should have, and it should have been like, look, I know this is merely a symbol. This 1 gallon of orange juice and 1 box of crackers is a symbol, for I know it'll never make up for all of the bottles of orange juice we drank and all of the Ritz cracker boxes we ate. But this is a good token.
Well, it wasn't a gallon; it was one of those quarts or whatever, because it was extra pulp. Remember?
Yeah,
you wanted extra pulp. That's gross. I hate pulp, but I used to love that.
And we used to fucking drink it though.
I know.
Like, can you imagine? John comes home and he doesn't realize we're home. We turn the corner in the kitchen, our skivvies, dude, like chugging his orange. He's like, God, John, why do you drink this extra pulp shit? And we're chugging it, dude.
Or laying in his bed, dude.
In like slow motion as I'm wiping it from my mouth. So fucking this. I've had it up to here with this turbo Todd and Aaron guy. Get out of here.
Before you jump into your next story, though, I gotta hit the bathroom real quick. So you want to pull?
All right. You gotta take a number 1 or number 2.
Just number 1. Just I gotta pee. So
okay, go please.
Do you want to go solo layout there, buddy?
Yeah, just leave it right there. Just leave it right there. Cool. It doesn't matter to me. And hey, why don't you somebody ask me a question? I'll shoot the shit. Todd can hurry up with his old man bladder and just make it a quick pee.
Yeah.
I don't have the bladder problems anymore because I had a surgery. I had a surgery a couple months back, man, because I couldn't piss. And it's like I wanted to piss all the time. And then when I went to go piss, nothing would come out. And I was straining myself. It was like I had a clog. And it caused a lot of pain, a lot of retention. And I was just miserable. So I went to a urologist. By the way, if you ever go to a urologist office and you're in our age group, you're like the youngest person there. It's just a bunch of people that are like 90 years old that can't urinate, and I'm like this young dude. And so we went through all the stuff and the tests and whatever, and it finally came down to, hey, let's get in there. Let's schedule you for an endoscopy, and let's go in there. We'll put you out, and if we find something, because he said what I feel you have is you most likely have scar tissue that could have been there since you were born and it's just been progressing, or it developed at some point for whatever reason. So, but what it is, like, we'll schedule you for surgery, we'll knock you out, we'll perform the endoscopy or whatever, and we'll look through. If there's nothing there, well, there's nothing there. You'll wake up after the quote unquote surgery we didn't have to do, and we'll figure out what's next. Maybe you have to go on some medication or whatever. And but if it's there, we'll proceed with the surgery. You know, you'll wake up and you will have had your dick mangled. So I woke up in a lot of pain. Sure enough, there was some growth, some scar tissues, and yeah, they had to cut that bad boy. And you know what? It was total bait and switch, because in the visitations at the doctor office, they were telling me it would be laser. But when I got out, it was like, or right before they put me under, or after they started putting me under, and I was like, he's like, oh, it's going to be like, we're going to do it with a cold knife. They're going to use blades. I'm like, what? And it was too late. So, but yeah, he ended up taking the cold blade to me, man. And he fixed me up, but I had to wear a catheter for a couple of weeks. And that was miserable, man. So my fucking penis hurt, right? It had been cut. And so I'm already trying to recover from that surgery while I got a giant fucking tube shoved up my urethra, right? And dealing with that. But long story short, it ended up being worth it because my problems were cured. Todd's back, and I was just telling him about my surgery a couple months ago where they cut my penis, and then they had to I had to have a catheter for a couple of weeks, and you know it's miserable trying to recover from a penis operation and getting cut, and then while having a giant fucking tube rammed up you for 2 weeks. It's just not.
I think
fun.
that was worse than vasectomy I got, because that was easy compared to what you had to go through.
No, it was not fun. But like I said, you add insult to injury when you also have to have the tube up there irritating it while you're trying to heal, because I couldn't piss. But like I was saying, it was worth it because it fixed all my problems. And then, you know, for the next month, I just had to do like exercises to strengthen my bladder, because they said my bladder was probably about that fucking big. It was nothing because I couldn't retain anything. So so from that point, the clog was fixed. The issue was fixed. Now I just had to fix the bladder. You know, certain exercises where I log shit. I force myself to hold my urine, right? I don't go at the first whim of needing to go, just all that stuff. But I seem to be good now. It's like now I can hold my shit for 4, 5, 6 hours like a champ. I'm not afraid to see movies anymore, because I used to hate going to see movies, man. Because it's like, and I couldn't drink anything for hours ahead of the movie because I didn't want to have to take a piss during it.
I'm that way. Yeah.
No,
drives me nuts.
Totally worth it. Yes, an ocean of piss came out, Plemke. That is right. Oh, dude, it did. Let me tell you, this guy fucking put some fucking shit in me after, and he was testing how full he put something up my dick, and then he was in like this bathroom with me, and he was pumping my bladder with like water because he wanted to see how much I could take. And he's like below me, like, you know, turn your head and cough type thing, looking at my dick, and he's pumping me, and it's a weird sensation, dude. I'm getting like reverse pissed in. And then he like let it out, dude. It was weird. Anyway, that's enough of that. So
yeah,
Todd went piss. Hopefully it was a mighty stream. And now we're going to talk about a time where either I got banned or we both got banned. I don't remember.
We both got banned.
And this was my mistake. And it was nothing that like there was no intention behind it. Like I wasn't trying to do what I guess happened, but you're a kid. You don't think. You don't really think 2 steps ahead of what you're going to do. You act on impulse. But anyway, so Todd had a girlfriend. I think it was his first serious high school girlfriend.
I think. Yeah, I think so. One of them, yeah.
Anyway, and we went to her house, and dude, speaking of being a stupid kid, and this could be a topic all on its own, but kids, and especially us back then, gatekeeping, it's stupid, right? Gatekeeping on music or movies or whatever, it's so fucking stupid. And I just want to say that it feels like today, as the years progress, it gets less and less and less cool to gatekeep, which is great because gatekeeping is fucking stupid. No matter
you used to be a hardcore gatekeeper,
dude. So whatever it is that you like, you should want more people to like that stuff.
Absolutely.
But what I think what the thing with the gatekeeping is you could sometimes sniff out the people that were generally interested and the people that were just trying to ride some coattails and get a little like inclusion and just acceptance. But you know what? Even then, so what? Don't be an asshole about it, right? Like let people. It's not the worst thing in the world if people are trying to feel accepted with something. And in hindsight, you know, you take a certain pride if you like stuff that's not trendy at the time. I think that's what it is. And in high school is all about like segregation and cliques anyway. And it kind of feels good when you feel like you have something to a small group, but it's a douchey thing. Anyway, Todd's girlfriend, a really popular band at the time, Tool, they had come out with Lateralus, and Travis was a huge Tool fan. And, you know, case in point of being a douchebag is Travis is the one that really introduced us to Tool. Yeah. It's not like we were born listening to Tool. So Travis got us into Tool, and that was totally fine. So why is it like within a year, it's not cool for this person to claim to like Tool? It's totally asinine when you think about it. But the thing is I was giving myself this phony cred. Like, well, I like stuff like that. So I belong to this. It's totally normal for me to like this band because I like these bands as well. Where this person, they were probably listening to fucking Backstreet Boys or whatever, right? Anyway, so that was the big thing, Lateralus. And we were all hot on it. And it was a mutual bond, especially with Travis. It was great. Travis was Tool obsessed. I was Metallica obsessed. And at the time, Todd was Pearl Jam obsessed and like Dave Matthews Band, right?
Yeah.
But it was cool because we took a little bit of everything. Had I heard Tool and Pearl Jam before I met these guys? Of course. But I really got into Pearl Jam after meeting Todd, and I really got into Tool after meeting Travis.
And I got into Metallica and Tool, yeah.
And I'm sure Todd heard Enter Sandman before he fucking knew I existed.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it was a beautiful thing, and I guess you don't want certain people polluting that, and which is stupid. Anyway, so we were at his girlfriend's house, and I don't remember if I don't remember she popped out with it saying, "Oh, I got the new Tool CD," and like I said, she was
you weren't. Yeah, okay. So here's the thing.
Don't jump ahead, but don't jump ahead to what I did. Don't jump ahead to what I did.
No, I'm not jumping ahead to what you did.
Okay.
So she came out and wanted to keep it a secret from you because she knew you were a gatekeeper, and she told Travis and I that you got the new Lateralus album on CD, and she told us, and then I think we leaked it to you. And you freaked the fuck out once we leaked it to you, and we just happened to be in her house because we didn't know she got it. But then she told us, she's like, "Don't tell Aaron this," or whatever. But I got the new Tool. I was like, "Oh, it's cool," I'm the boyfriend, And Travis was like, "Oh, that's cool," sort of thing. And
Travis is way more mature than I was. Apparently.
Yeah. And I don't know. I probably ended up telling you.
Well, here's the thing, though. The thing that I doesn't match is I had to have seen it because I knew exactly where it was. That's the whole setup. It's not like I was digging through like, oh, where is it? Where is it? No, she like literally flashed like, oh, and then she threw it in her top drawer. Right. That's it was as easy as that. And then I remember she left the room because we were in her bedroom. I want to say it was in the basement. I don't remember. And then they're like, oh, we're going to get Papa Murphy's pizza. I'll never forget. They were going to go get Papa Murphy's pizza, and she went up to go talk to her parents. And I took that opportunity to, I don't remember if I was showing you guys or whatever, or making some point. I don't know what it was, but she didn't even close the drawer all the way. Like literally it was cracked. It was already there. It was already open. This is where you're not thinking. I just walked over there and like, yeah, it's right here. Let me just help it.
It's like the Seinfeld episode with the Eclair sitting on top of the trash can.
Yeah. And then technically, did I open it from it being totally closed? No. But I opened it enough so I could show it to you. Oh, it's right here. And I didn't realize that was her underwear drawer. I fucking know. So anyway, talk about the worst possible timing. I opened it up a little more. So there it is. And then she walks in. She walks in.
Would her mom walk in too, or was it just her?
It was just her, and she went and tattled.
Okay.
So you walk in, and it's like you see Sasquatch fucking digging through your trash cans. But it just looked bad. It just looked bad. And I'm not saying I was innocent because I shouldn't have been doing that. But you don't think, and I certainly wouldn't have done it had I known it was like an underwear drawer. If I would have taken 2 seconds to really think about the action, I would have done it. It was all impulse. And so she caught me right at the wrong fucking second. She went up there. She told her dad, and I didn't even get confronted. I think they called you up there.
Yeah.
Which is weird. If that was my daughter in my house, I would have went down there and be like, "Hey,
yeah, I think I got yelled at and I got banned."
Yeah, and so I was banned too. So, and I have to give Todd props, even though I was an asshole when I was a stupid kid. Even when Todd says he thinks he leaked it to me, or in the case of when we got banned, he took the heat of it, and we still left together, and he wasn't mad at me. Like.
No,
you weren't mad at me. I think
we left in my Corsica, and I think I was banned for like maybe a month or two, and then finally it got smoothed over somehow. But
and if I was more mature and older and stuff like that, I would have directly apologized, right? Like if this happened today, it wouldn't happen today. But let's just say hypothetically, some kind of misunderstanding like that happened, I would be like, "Hey, I'm so sorry. It's not an excuse. This is my mindset, but I fucked up. I apologize." And I would have went to the dad and the mom, like, "God, I'm a fucking piece. I'm so sorry. I'll see myself out."
Well, that whole Lateralus album just brings back a lot of memories because also, like, I think about one of the coolest times because my the day it came out, I think it was in April, I believe, wasn't it? 2000.
I'm gonna look it up because you did a midnight release, right? You went to like Homer's or something.
I didn't. I think Travis did. I think I
Because you
went.
remember it came out the same day as Riot Act or one of the Pearl Jam albums. Binaural. Did he come out with the Pearl Jam album? I
It could
swear.
have. It could have. But no, I think Travis ended up getting that the midnight.
May 15th. May
Oh,
15th.
May 15th. Okay.
Yeah.
So my brother, he's like, hey, it's a late birthday present. So he went to Best Buy because he was a freshman in college and bought it for me, and then went into the school and put it in my locker. So then afterwards we can listen to it, which is fucking awesome, dude. Like I won't never forget that. I thought that was really cool.
And,
But
and to this day, the coolest CD packaging at the time, because it had that lenticle like see-through cover, and you kept taking it off and it revealed more of the flesh, and it was a cool package, and I still love that album.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Now if only they released a good vinyl of it, not that shitty picture disc that everyone shits on.
Yeah, it's not great, but it's not the worst thing either. So.
Do you own it?
I have that, yeah. I have that
Undertow
as well. Undertow sounds pretty good.
I have Undertow too. You have the Lateralus? Cool.
Yeah, I got it for got it when it was on sale like 3 months ago.
And what was the sale price?
I don't know. It was like 20 something.
Yeah, and I can't pull the trigger on it because it's like, man, all the reviews of it are not like the greatest. And if I bought it, it would be just to basically have it and not really listen to it, because I would just listen to it other ways. So I don't know if they're going to release another version of it or what. You think Tool, being the way they are, you think they'd be all about fidelity. You think they wouldn't have released it like that.
I'm just waiting for Anima to come out, and hopefully that'll pop up someday, but we'll see.
Plemke's asking, has there ever been any rumors spread about you to me? Yeah, that I had a massive dick. No, not really. It wasn't that exciting.
No.
Todd, did you have any rumors
about me?
Yeah,
not that I know of. I'm sure there was some rumors about me, but they never got back to me. That's the whole.
But that's
thing.
Also good too, man, because like I wasn't important enough to have rumors of. That's good, because like, who gets rumors spread about them? The fucking captain of the cheerleading team, dude, like being a whore or something, like, stuff like that. And I don't know.
I don't know if
none
people
of that
knew who I was back then, so I don't really care.
Not a lot of stuff like that. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, so we got banned from a few places. We were assholes. It's like I don't know.
Drinking people's orange juice, eating their Cheez-Its. Yeah. It was fun though, man. I think about those times a lot.
I miss the smells, man. First of all, like I remember going to your house and basement. It was cool. It had a certain aesthetic, and you had the DVD player. You were the movie guy. You had all these movies, dude. I remember Travis's basement had a smell. Travis's basement had a scent, and he always had. When I think of 2000 era alternative new metal, I think of Travis.
Oh right? Yeah,
I think of his basement and that scent, and having System of a Down posters, Tool posters on the wall.
Well, they didn't have bed frames, so all their beds were on the floor. Pat and Travis's beds were on the floor. Remember mattresses?
Yeah, I remember that, and that's weird because I never think about that, but that is true. And so they had a twin bed on each side, and the TV in the middle, where they play like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
That's crazy. I didn't think about it. Why do people, that's a good point. Why do people even have bed frames? What's the point? Like, isn't a bed just as good on the floor? They do. That's how they sleep in Japan.
Yeah, and I had a bed frame in my basement, but I still had rats crawling on me when I was, in high school. So, yeah, bed frames don't matter. Dude, I remember when I was laying in bed, there was rats crawling on me, and I threw them off, dude. And I stepped on one once, cracked his spine. It was crazy, man. But, oh yeah. Walking into the bathroom in the basement, cracked his spine. But yeah, that's probably why I like to hang out at Travis's house. I don't have to worry about the rats and the mice, dude.
Yeah. Well, I just liked hanging out at Travis's house because his parents were loving, man. They were very cool. And even when John would come home, man, he was very nice. He never seemed like he was annoyed by us. He'd always pass through the basement on the way up, and he was always receptive when we'd come upstairs, like watch TV or whatever. He seemed to be, I mean, if he was annoyed, we never got a hint of it. Maybe he was. Maybe he was like, God, I just got off work. I just want a little quiet time. Not that we were loud. We weren't, but you know how it is. Sometimes you just don't want people around.
Yeah.
But then again, they had a house full of people, so maybe they were just used to it because he never had a quiet house. It's like, you have Travis, you have his two sisters, you have Pat there sometimes. So I don't know, but they were cool. And like I said, they treated me great when it was my birthday. Took me to the mall. His mom slut shamed somebody. It was amazing. And I want to say, I remember we went to the mall on my birthday. I didn't tell anybody it was my birthday. And then Travis did. And I remember his dad, Aaron, get up here. And I'd be downstairs. You didn't tell us it was your birthday. Because I'm like, what asshole does that?
Yeah, yeah.
And they took us shopping with them. We went to the Mall of the Bluffs, and John, I think, bought us lunch and stuff. And Travis, I don't remember what CD music store was in this particular mall, but that's where Travis bought me my first Tool CD. He bought me Anima. And
cool that wasn't cheap either at Sam Goody. So,
and I remember John, after hanging out with them all day, John dropped me off. John and his family and Travis dropped me off to my grandpa's, my grandparents' house, where I was gonna have I was gonna go hang out with them and stuff, my mom and stuff. That was a good memory, man.
It's funny you say about dropping off, because I remember taking you home a few times, but you would never let me drop you off at your house. It was always at Shopco, dude.
So like, I'll walk home from here. My dad, dude, I was humiliated by my dad, dude. I was fucking humiliated. My dad had problems, and it wasn't always a pretty sight, and it was very unpredictable. I don't know. I think those are years I just like to I don't block out the years, but pretty much my home life I just like to block out. And I just, trust me, I didn't want any of my life that I felt was good at the time. What was my reprieve? It was hanging out with like Todd or Travis, and after that was, and even to a degree, school. It was an escape. Yeah. I didn't want any of that stuff bleeding together, dude. Like, that's the last thing. I would have never wanted what we had at like Travis's house with my family. I didn't want those two worlds colliding at that time. My mom. My mom's great and everything now, but at the time, dude, my mom was a severe alcoholic, dude. She was a wreck. And my dad was a wreck too, but he was a junkie wreck, dude. It was just it wouldn't have been out of the ordinary if you could have drove up and you could have seen a window breaking, dude, from the inside. It was a violent mess, dude. I'm just like, I just don't want to mix the fucking worlds, if that makes sense. I just did not. And it was funny because my parents didn't give a shit. They didn't give a shit where I was going. They didn't care who I was hanging out with. It's not like they were like, where have you been all day? No, they didn't care. We want to meet your friends. They didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
So I wanted to keep it like that. It's like, you know what? Whatever. Just fucking let me just ride this out till high school's done.
You went over to my house a few times, I remember. Didn't you walk in and my stepdad's in smoking a cig and his skibbies, dude, watching Howard Stern on TV, dude?
I went over to your house a lot. Your stepdad Rich was great, and he still is. He's still with us, but I remember I would sleep over your house, and we, that was a lot of fun. And I remember one morning, probably like a Sunday morning or something, I came upstairs, or no, I took a shower because you had one bathroom in this house.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And it was the shower on the main floor because it was just like your normal, typical
split entry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or no, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's split level. And I walked upstairs, fine, house is empty, get in the shower, get out of the shower. And when I get out of the shower, now it's no longer empty. His stepdad, Rich, is in the living room, butt naked.
Oh, yeah.
Legs crossed.
Yep.
Was he a smoker?
Oh, yeah. He just sit there, smoke cigarettes, drink coffee, dude.
Smoking a cigarette with coffee, and he had the newspaper, and he was butt naked. So the newspaper was like, it was like a TV show or like a PG-13 movie where they want to hide the nudity. The newspaper was hiding the goods, but I just saw, and I'm walking through there like, oh, hi, Rich. He's like, how you doing? And then you'd want to like normally kind of just get this section over with and me run downstairs, get changed, and me not be around the naked guy while I just got out of the shower. But he stops me and he has
He wants to
friendly chit
talk to
chat.
you. Yeah.
Yeah, and like it's totally normal. He's like, "Hey, so how's school?" Like, "Oh yeah." It's like, "Yo," he's like talking about whatever the fuck's in the paper. I don't know. Like, "So man, I can't believe these going to war and going to like, oh my god." Can we please this naked guy, dude? So funny though.
He used to sit up there, naked in his chair, smoking cigs and watching.
And he
Howard
wouldn't
Stern,
let you
dude.
go because he just wanted to shoot the shit, which is normally fine.
Yeah.
But it's like, good grief, man.
He
The only
didn't
thing that
think
would have made it
anything of
better,
it. Yeah.
yeah, the only thing that would have made it better, which I don't think was the case, is if I was like in a towel too. Like we're both naked, dude. Like this is a sauna. We're just hanging out, talking fucking shop, talking about sports naked, dude. It's so funny. Oh, one more story. I want to tell. I don't know how much time Todd has. I think we're going. Well, we started a little late, whatever. But I think the last thing we can talk about, if you want to, was just give me one fun memory you have. Whether it doesn't have to be in school, it could be just during that time period. Like we've been talking about a lot of stuff. They're not always fun, like getting kicked out. But what is one particular memory that we haven't brought up today that you look back on and from time to time you're like, that was, or you look back on it and like, man, that was fun, or man, I wonder if I had the brain and the maturity now back when we experienced this, how would I have treated the situation? But give me one scenario or one memory you think fondly of, or you just kind of go back to.
We kind of talked about it before on some of the other episodes, but
I wonder if it's gonna be the same one. Probably not.
It would have to be band camp for me.
Oh, please hold that, because I want to have an episode about concert memories. Because that's a great. We have talked about band camp, but in a nutshell, band camp was fucking amazing. And we got blistered. I don't think we'd ever been to like a festival like that before.
Nah,
like
never.
And we weren't. Dude, my parents didn't raise me to put on sunscreen. I ain't know anything about that shit.
Either. Yeah.
Dude, who knew? 2 kids in the hot summer sun, dude, for fucking 10 hours, man, and no water, no money, no water,
yeah.
just boiling, dude, boiling, so we could see Jerry Cantrell and a bunch
Tommy
of other
Lee
shit.
And yeah.
So
and then going home and eating chili cheese burritos and watching Friday the 13th Part 6, and then waking up 2 days later.
We were so fried. We left during, because the headliners, if you want to call them that, or Jerry Cantrell, Tommy Lee solo. He was doing some fucking Tommy Lee solo shit, Tommy Lee and the Ride, and then some fucking Methods of Mayhem, cringe, and then the last band was Nickelback. And this is when they were really blowing up big, like, this is how here in Miami. Yeah. We left during Tommy Lee. We literally like watched the first song of Tommy Lee, and it was like a new metal version of Shout Out the Devil, once again, cringe. And we started leaving because we were just fried. We were just absolutely crispy critters.
We got there like 11 a.m. and then we left at 8 or something, or 9 or whatever.
And I swear, if it wasn't the hottest day of the year, man, it felt like it. And so, yeah, on the way home, we hit up Taco Bell, got some chili cheese burritos, RIP, missed those things. And we went back to Todd's house, and literally we went to his basement. I thought it was Friday 13th 4, but I guess it was 6.
Part 6.
Okay. We started it. I don't even know if we finished our food because we just passed out. And so I remember starting the movie, sitting down with food on his couch downstairs, and fade to black. And all of a sudden we woke up and it was nighttime, and we thought, oh fuck, we just fell asleep for a few hours, and we woke up at 10 p.m. We slept for a couple hours, and we go upstairs, and your mom told us, no, we didn't sleep for 2 hours. We slept for 24 fucking hours. Like we slept all day, dude. And that's how tired we were, dude. Mm-hmm. I'll never forget that feeling of, oh, that was a good 2-hour nap. What? 26 hours.
Yeah. Oh, it's Sunday today. Yeah. You went to bed on a Friday. It's like, what?
Like, fuck? I think your mom and your brother had been in and out, gone to work, and nobody woke us up, dude. It's like, oh, they look like they fucking need this. I'm not gonna bother them.
Yeah, because we slept on my brother's couch and then the floor, and then I think my brother slept in my bed or something so we could
Oh,
sleep.
because
But
that's
yeah,
where he slept.
yeah. So
Dang, yeah.
nobody ever told us to wake up. We just,
And your brother was cool about it.
oh yeah.
Dude, I just, I would have. I don't know, man. That was so weird. I felt like I lost a day of my life. It was
I
like
know.
jumping into a time machine. Like, what year is it?
It was, yeah, that was the longest I ever slept in my life. That's crazy.
And the after effects, man, of that show, the next day I had boils,
Yep.
blisters all over my nose. I looked like a fucking ghoul.
Mm.
And I've never been that sunburned. And I no, I wasn't even sunburned. I really do think that we had some degree burns on us.
Oh yeah, they're blisters and they're popping, and yeah, shit was coming out of them, and yeah, it was gross.
I mean, we weren't as bad as like, I guess we didn't have to be rushed to a burn unit.
It was like
But
freak show from Harold and Kumar, dude. It was bad.
what's the worst degree? Is it third degree?
I think so. Yeah.
God, we were at least first degree burns all over our body, dude. It was terrible.
Yeah.
Thank God it was summertime though, right? Thank God, we could afford to just sleep for a whole day, and thank God, like I said, I had parents that didn't give a shit, man. Like their son was gone for over 24 hours over that because I left the morning prior. I was gone for almost 2 fucking days.
Yeah.
Nobody said shit. That's right there, dude. So on one hand, I fucking hated it, but at the other hand, it's like, hey, it's kind of cool. They don't write, like they don't give a shit.
Yeah.
It's a good thing I was a good kid, man. If I was a bad kid, I had all the opportunity in the world to just be a bad kid.
No, I still think about that quite a bit. So
that one is a good one, but we do talk about that a lot, and we'll touch on it again later because we'll touch on it in detail.
We got some concerts we could talk about.
Oh yeah, and they don't have to be shared ones. I've got ones that I would love to talk about that are just me. But my memory, and this will cap it, 2 words, and I'm gonna do some doxing because I don't think it matters. Or no, do you want me to dox? I won't dox. I'll just say a first name.
Mm-hmm.
Michelle.
Okay, yeah.
Dude,
you don't have to dox her, but yeah.
What a weird fucking thing. How random was that? And I don't remember if this is during the school season or if it was summertime. We went to, was it Kmart?
Walmart.
Okay, was it Walmart?
Yep.
So here's the thing about being young, 14, 15, 16 years old in that age group. You always do the same thing. Like back in the day, people still hung out at the malls. That wasn't quite dead yet. And they still had arcades and stuff. Todd and I, we never knew what to do. It's like, oh yeah, let's do something. And you just end up being bored, driving around, hanging out at the mall. Like, oh, let's go. And people always like, oh, let's go to the mall, pick up chicks. You don't ever pick up any chicks. It's like, what
you walk around, look at them, and then they look at you, and then you walk away.
Anyway, so it was just weird that we went to a place like Walmart and randomly met some girl that was our age that we didn't know. They didn't go to our school, and it was just, I don't remember what caused the conversation to strike up.
She saw the movie.
Oh, Halloween 3 was it, or 2?
Halloween 5.
Oh, I can't get anything right. So you were buying that.
Yeah.
For some reason.
So on VHS, yeah, they had Halloween 5, and I'm like, oh shit, Halloween 5, I need to buy this so we can watch it on VHS. And yeah,
like we were going through. But it was a checkout. How did we?
We're going through a checkout line. We're going through a checkout line, and we were behind her, and she was buying stuff in front of us.
And she had a pair of jeans with the tag on, so we pretty much deduced that she tried them on and was stealing them.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I guess there was a small talk, and it was like, yeah, I want to come back to my place. And we were just like, what? As a kid, we never just met random people and went to their houses and stuff like that. It was just such a weird day.
Very, very, very weird. Yeah, because we saw the tag on. I think she probably did that because she didn't want to get in trouble if she walked out and the beeper went off. We'd be like, oh, what the hell? We didn't think anything of it. But yeah, she's like, oh, follow me. Well, we can watch the movie together because we thought she was like a horror fan. We're like, oh, okay, cool. And she was a cute girl, but yeah, we drove over to her house and nice house.
I was gonna turn into a Harold and Kumar. I want the double stuff. No, but yeah, we went to her house and she had a nice house, nicer house than we had, and she was so weird, but at the time in a cool way. It's like, man, she's just really spontaneous and really odd. And we went to her room, and like she had like a little TV with the VCR, and I remember you
Yeah.
putting on the movie. Like I guess the plan was to go there and watch the movie, and
Yeah.
it was just a weird fucking day, man. And
Well, a funny thing is that she didn't walk on her carpet. She would walk on all of her furniture. Remember that?
yeah,
She
that's what I'm
walk
saying.
she
She was.
she'd
I don't
walk on her
really.
bed and all of her furniture.
Yeah, so she was super bizarre, and I don't really quite remember that, but now that you say it, it does ring a bell. So I, I don't know if she had some kind of condition or what it was, but she was really weird. So I don't know if she had this thing where she was big into superstitions and don't step on a crack, break it. But she was an odd one. And then I don't remember which school she went to. I don't remember where she went. She went
Miller
to like
West.
fucking raw Miller West.
Yeah.
And I had talked to somebody that had went to Millard West, somebody that came to Millard South that used to be on Millard West that knew her, and they're like, "Oh yeah, she was like on the she was a girl that joined the men's wrestling team."
Yeah, she's
Remember
a
that?
wrestler. Yeah.
It's like she's like the only girl, and then she's like, "Yeah, she was weird. She used to like take her lunch and just sit right in the middle of the floor and
Mhm.
just start barking like a dog." What? Like, I mean, she was a fucking bizarre, man. And I think you actually dated her a little bit, right?
No, I hung out with her once. So after the fact, we went out to uh
Tool,
when I
dude,
wanted
listen to like a
some.
Metallica laser show.
Yeah, so when I went on some dates back then, like the local college had laser light shows with like music playing in the background where
Very
the
cool.
lasers are going on, and I took her to the Metallica one, and then we went back to my house and watched Cunning Stunts on DVD, and then like we
We're
were just
here
chilling.
to kick your ass. So
Yeah.
good.
So we watched that, and then we just relaxed on the couch, and she fell asleep. And I think my mom was out of town or something, camping with my stepdad at the time. And then she woke up the next day, and then we're like, "Oh shit!" She fell asleep over here. So she got up and left, and that was pretty much the last time I saw her. But she's really, really, really cool. But she was a fucking weirdo, dude.
Yeah, so weird. And I think about people like that, and I'm like, what is that person like today? Now that
Yeah,
they're grown up, because like I said, everybody's kind of discovering themselves and going through phases and figuring out where they fit in and what their personality is. And so I wonder if she's different today, you know?
yeah. I have no idea. I've never tried to research. I just left it all in the past.
And I don't ever think about it. And it just like it comes up every now and again, like, yeah, it was fucking weird.
Just the fact that she walked on the furniture, I was like, "Oh my god, this is crazy." But
I
no,
just
okay, you forgot to add the weird part. Okay, so
oh, okay.
after the whole furniture thing, and we were watching Halloween 5, I really don't think we got through the whole film. But you're like, okay, she's like, I gotta go. I got something I gotta do. I was like, okay, fine. So we get up and walk out. We walk downstairs, and there's a knock on the door, and we're like, okay, whatever. And a
Oh.
guy comes in with a thing of flowers. Some nerdy dude with a bouquet of flowers for her. She's like, "Oh, I was sorry. I'm going on a date with him." And we're like, "Okay, that's fine."
What does that
so
guy think of two guys, dude?
yeah, so we walk by him and we're like, "Oh, we'll see you later. Good luck. On the date and all that stuff." But it was so freaking weird that she was like, "Oh
It was
yeah, I'm
like he
supposed to
was
go on a
third in
date."
line, dude. Like we just took our turns and now it's him, dude. It's so weird. Yeah, it was so awkward. She was very scatterbrained.
And I
I
don't
don't
think
know.
I think she's just a nice, friendly, like free spirited person. But
Yeah, that's the word I mean. She was like a free spirit. She was like very hippie like, very just
yeah,
very, very goes with the flow. What was it like hanging out with her alone?
not bad. I mean, we had
The
fun.
same?
Yeah, yeah,
Interesting. And
crazy.
so you said I think your mom had come home and you guys accidentally fell asleep on the couch, right? You like sneak
hmm
her out.
Yeah, she was. I think they were coming home in like any minute, and she had to leave, or I had to pretty much get her out of there because we fell asleep on the couch. I mean, nothing like we were just watching TV and fell asleep, that sort of thing. So
Yeah. Did you ever see her again after that? Or was that the last of it?
I did, and that was the last time I saw her.
And back then we didn't have cell phones. So it's like you
No,
literally had to call people's landlines. So there was like, hey, here's my number. Not, just never just stopped.
yeah. So
Crazy. Anyway, I always think about that because there was so many times where we would go looking for some excitement, go to the mall, like, oh, maybe we'll meet people or whatever. And
Yeah.
it never happens because we're trying too hard or not trying enough. And
Mm-hmm.
then it just happens spontaneously. And then I just remember the look on like your face and my face when she would do weird shit. Like kind of like, what do we get ourselves into? Like show up at her house and she does weird thing number one. It's like, what the we're just looking at each other, like, what the fuck is going on?
I'm glad we stuck it out though, because I mean it does make some good memories of you know.
Yeah, because what could we have done? We could have said, "Oh no, we gotta go rent Blackula and watch it at Todd. Sorry, nice to meet you, though." Yeah,
Yeah,
you should just say yes more often. I mean, I guess we could have got our throat slit because I wasn't totally
that's true.
unconvinced. I wasn't totally unconvinced she wasn't batshit, dude. It started getting weird. Like, dude, she is weird. Like, what are we gonna go into her bedroom, dude? And she has like her grandma stuffed in a fucking rocking chair.
That
Norman
is
Bates,
true.
dude. But anyway, it was interesting. But anyway, this is a very, very small chat in retrospect about our past. So the goal is I was trying to get talk to Todd about a schedule. And what do you feel do you just feel comfortable with one day doing this? What do you feel comfortable with? Because I had pitched 2, but if you
As
feel
of
comfortable
as of now, 1.
okay,
Until I can figure it out with the
that's fine.
my
Do you
wife
want to
and
make
kids.
that today, Thursdays?
I'm fine with Thursdays if you want to keep
Okay,
Thursdays.
because I want to actually put in an official schedule on Twitch.
Okay.
So, and by the way, and if you guys aren't already aware, we do have a YouTube. Follow us there. We've been around for a long time. We got shit tons of videos over there, tons and tons of podcasts, film commentaries. It's a whole network of shit. So there's a lot of content if you're new. And of course, if you're just now finding us on Twitch, please follow us. We just started this. We obviously want to walk up the ladder per se and get that affiliate status so we can have more fun shit over here. Because right now, I'm used to having a little bit more freedom. Like on YouTube, we can do whatever we want. But so anyway, we'll do this every Thursday. We're gonna do it 8-ish, 10-ish, right? PM Central.
Yep.
And then what I'll do is Tuesdays, unless any change, if any changes happen with the schedule, I'll let you guys all know in the chats on our group pages in the Patreon. But right now, Tuesdays, what I'll do is I'm going to set aside a couple of hours, and I'm not even sure the time yet. I'll have to check the schedule. I'm going to update all that stuff. But on Tuesdays evenings, probably early evenings, I'm going to stream retro cartoons, and I'm going to do a watch along of retro cartoons, and I'll talk about all this shit. Just me. I'll have the camera, the whole deal. And because I thought to myself, like, well, I don't know if Todd's going to be able to do 2 days. And I'm like, but I want to at least have 2 days that are scheduled. I can stream. Matt can stream. We can all do streaming whenever we want outside of that. But I'm like, you know what? Let me do the cartoon thing because that's something I've always wanted to do. Look, Twitch won't let me do that. It's copyright. They won't let me stream it, even with no audio. Are you fucking kidding me? What if I transition my screen every fucking minute?
That's yeah, that sucks, man.
But why can you stream games?
I have no idea.
Why can you stream games? Why do they allow game audio and you can stream game footage, but I can't stream Captain N and the motherfucking Game Masters?
No clue.
Game
centric, a Plumkey said.
Yeah, they're not even games. I don't know. I don't even. There's got to be some workarounds to it. There's got to be some workarounds, Plumkey. I'm gonna figure it out. Well, all I know is Twitch is unforgiving. Like Twitch can just delete your channel and ban you, no warnings.
Oh, geez.
No warnings. Whereas YouTube, you get 3 strikes or they'll just demonetize or something like that. Well, even if I have to do that part on YouTube, I want to do it. So I'll get it figured out. I think it's bullshit. I don't even personally think it would be that big of a deal when we're smaller, but I don't know. I think it's when you get a little bigger, you can't really hide.
So for next Thursday, I don't know what topic you want, but I do have some things I'll probably want to show. That some pickups that I want to show that I'm not going to tell you about. Make it kind of a surprise.
Yeah. And we'll shoot the breeze at the top of the hour. We'll let you know what the topic is going to be for next one too. But yeah, we'll talk about all that. And we'll go over pickups. And Plemke, thanks for joining us. Yeah, man. I hear about all the horror stories on how Twitch is, but I also see people getting away with shit. Right? It's like how? Like I love this guy, the Punk Rock MBA, and I love his YouTube channel. And he's got a Twitch too that he twitches a couple times a week. And he reviews and reacts to like fucking music videos, and that's the worst. People talk about all the time, like licensed music and shit like that. And Twitch even put out a statement that they're going hard after those people now. So it's like, even if you have any logged and posted videos that are old, go through them and take them down that have old music. But like, I watch this guy twice a week, and he plays shit and he reacts to it. How? I feel like there's got to be more to it.
I don't know, but we need to be like Kramer and copyright our stories, dude. So Peterman doesn't steal them.
Well, so Plemke, what if I watch the fucking episode and I don't have the sound? Or what if I watch the episode, but mute if it has music? What if I watch the episode and I break it up? I don't understand. There's got to be something to it. You know what I mean? Like, how does anybody have fun?
It's free promotion. I don't understand like the whole trailer thing. I mean, that's.
By the way, who's making money off the Nintendo Power Hour now?
Yeah.
I mean, is Nintendo even making money off that? They're like cartoons by Deke or whatever. I thought about doing a couple hours and doing the Nintendo Power Hour, doing Captain N and the Game Master, The Legend of Zelda, and the Super Mario Super Show. I know these are Nintendo properties, but I don't know. Yeah, it's all down to the people that own the copyright. I'm gonna figure something out. So, and regardless, I'll be doing something on a second day. So we'll figure it out. I'm going to get it figured out. But thank you. Like I said, please follow us on Twitch. Please share it. And yeah, tune in. Keep updating the schedule. But right now it's Tuesday, Thursdays. That's it. That's all we got. Hopefully it was okay. It's a fun show.
Later, guys.
I don't know. It doesn't have a name yet. I don't know if it gets a name. But all right. Later, everybody.